Hi girls, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jenny Penton, founder of Planner Perfect, and in today's video, we're going to be talking all about scripting, why it is beneficial, and how you can get started incorporating it into your daily planning life. Stay tuned. Okay girls, this is going to be a really informative video for those that are new to me and the Planner Perfect method, and even my girls who've been with me for a while. There's some new things even that as I over the years have come to understand and know even more of about the scripting method and how to even just make it better. So be sure to stay to the end so that you can really get all of the info. So at first, I just want to thank you for, being here. Be sure to subscribe if you want more on how to write a better story for your life, about planning, journaling, and the whole woman, really, on how to really live your best life. And I'm just so happy that you're here. I'm going to be sharing today more in depth about the scripting method, which is a style of writing that includes detail. That's the short version of kind of what is scripting, and it's out there scripting, and it's really just a really long-handed way of planning your life. And now we're going to dive in real deep about why it's so beneficial, because it is. So let's just dive right in. So first of all, I offer planners that are unique in that the pages for your days are not boxing you in. They are a white canvas. So, you are to, by the time you wake up in the morning until the time you go to bed, you're going to be scripting in how you envision your day to go and your life to go. And you're doing this all in advance. And the reason why the scripting method is just so amazing is because of the flow state that it does create. It creates an amazing flow state. It does get you very, very into this creative flow where you start to get ideas upon ideas. It's like idea stacking. You are writing and looking into the future, like of your whole week, not of just of the things you got to do. Because sometimes when we write down to-do lists of things that we just must do, it's almost like it's a separate entity of ourselves. It's feed the kids, or make sure you feed the dog, or take the dog for a walk, or do this here, or, dry cleaning here. Or do people even do dry cleaning anymore? I don't know. But it's all of these different things that you want to do. But when instead of looking at it as something outside of yourself that you must do and to feel accomplished, why not bring everything in that you must do and write it out in a way it's just infiltrated into your life. It's part of you, and it has a very strong psychological approach. Something about pen to paper really impresses the mind, and it's like you are telling your mind by this detail of how you want to, and I'll give you some examples of the detail of how you want to begin your day, your midday, your early afternoon, your evening, how you want to function and be. When you're doing that, it impresses the mind, and your mind is taking note. It will intrinsically give you the motivation you need to get it done. Also, it's a really good filter. So when you're writing all these things out and you're like, wow, I've got a lot to do, okay? And you're just like, maybe I can delegate this out. Maybe I don't have to do this, because when I put this factor, this to-do that I want to do and get done, and I'm weaving it into my days, I'm seeing that it's kind of hard to have I'm having a hard time getting meals ready, or this is kind of like not working. It helps when you script your life, you are always evaluating, really on a weekly basis and then even on a daily basis, on if your day is going and flowing the way that you want it to. If it is working right, you're evaluating, you're constantly looking at it through a microscope. It's like, am I even headed somewhere? Am I going somewhere? Is this benefiting me? Is this benefiting my children? Is this benefiting my family? Or my week looks too harried. I don't know if that's really going to work. It's taking a real good look at your life when you script. You're just taking a really good look at your life, rather than when you kind of traditional planning is where, you do a lot of decorating and then you add like 3 or 4 things to do in that day. I'm living in the world of the planning community, and that is what they're doing. It is like your life is boiled down to 4 things that you're intentional about that you hope that you do. Meanwhile, your life is completely running without any intention other than those 4 tasks throughout the whole day into the evening. You know what I'm saying? Just think about that for just 1 second. Just think about that. Just really, really think about that. So if you're going off of a small square where you've got very limited space, or maybe you're time blocking, which is a stress, unless you've got like a nail appointment or a doctor appointment, it's like, I don't really ever follow the philosophy of 1 o'clock here. Now, sometimes it's helpful to have like a couple things that you got to tighten up your schedule so that you set yourself up for success. But to live off of it is going to be a real time stressful crunch. And especially if you work from home or you are a stay-at-home mom or whatever, that's going to be real, real tough. So, but if you are only being intentional, because when you, even a to-do list, it's an intention, but when you write out the why with it, now you're beginning to really create this built-in mechanism that it's impressing you enough that you feel impelled to do it. But if you only have like 4 different to-dos, but your whole life it hasn't been accounted for, like it's running off the grid. I mean, you're basically succumbing to what life throws at you because you haven't proactively created the vision for it. So now it's going to just come at you as it will. And my philosophy is that you get in there in the beginning of the week and you begin by, and I'm gonna actually do another video on how to get started on the method. So I'm gonna get real detailed on that in another video. But in terms of the scripting, you wanna get real descriptive for the whole week in advance, each day, as far as you can. And as each day gets closer, you fill in gaps. But you wanna start at the top of your day. And what time is the intention for you to get up? That's the first one. And if that's the case, the day before, what's your intention on when you want to go to bed? When you wake up, how do you want to feel? Do you want to feel good? Then you should probably make sure that you get your good 7 to 8 hours of sleep. What is your intention when you get up after that? What do you have some things that you want to do? Are there things that are that you've got to go to work, or maybe you've got to get a dog out, or you got to get kids to school, or whatever it may be at this time frame that you're watching this. Or maybe you don't have anything going on and you want to start maybe your own business. So it's these kind of things that you want to be looking at. You don't want your life to just escape you and one day you're like, wow, I mean, it will get away from you if you don't look at it, because we all have gifts and talents and things to share, and God has a plan for your life, and you need to know what that is so you can pursue it. You've got something to offer this world. You do. So the scripting method really helps you. When you write, it creates a flow state, which will help give you, I call them God downloads, because I just get these ideas all the time of what I can do, what more I can do, what new thing I can do, what new thing I can share, and a new thing I could even begin. And so I just get so excited when I go to plan my week because of all of these fun different things that pop up in my head. And something that could be even as maybe a day that is more what some may consider mundane, if it is a day that no one's going anywhere, it's going to be a little bit rainy and cloudy, then maybe that's going to be some time where I'm baking something and I'm really making sure I'm on top of my laundry and I'm reading to my children. So to create something out of a day that just may seem like, you know what I mean? I'm proactive to it that all days where I put in what I'm wanting and intending for that day. And it's the scripting method allows that because it's such a creative flow state because you're writing, and then it impresses the mind. So then you're just intrinsically motivated to get moving. I never use an alarm clock. I get up every time, whatever I write down, my body wakes me up at that time. I literally open my eyelids at the time I intend the night before. I have my day down where I know what time I'm waking up, what my first hour is going to be, my next hour is going to be. The morning is the biggest setup for me, as well as the evening. I call them my pillars, and they are a huge setup. So I script those just in such depth and entirety of, to this morning, I'm going to wake up and we're going to do my coffee. I'm going to take the dog out. I'm going to do this for an hour. I'm going to then read the book of Matthew. I'm going to be praying over this. It just depends on which day that I script these different things out. I get into, now I'm thinking, okay, I have grandbabies that I watch even. So now it's like, okay, well, I better make sure that I'm showered at this time, get this done. I chat with my husband in the morning. It's like one of our precious moments. We have so many kids. And it's like that time I treasure. And I'm like, okay, I want to spend like this good 30 minutes where we just kind of talk over coffee. We do this. And then it's the shower and it's getting ready for kids. It's making sure I know what I want to feed them for breakfast and I'm ahead of them before they start saying that they're hungry. I want to be ahead of the game. I want I want everything prepped and ready for it. I want laundry started. I want beds made. I want pets fed. I want children doing chores. And I just have this routine that I get into, and it changes sometimes within the days, within my week. And if there's a holiday or something else going on, or maybe I've got to do, then there's business for me, which I will choreograph around children and my family so that I can serve the women in my community and I can serve my family with my whole heart and all my attention. So that takes some really great choreography, because if I did not detail that out and script that out, I would be one stressed out mom and grandma. I would be completely stressed. And so I would be, trying frazzled doing breakfast, thinking, oh my gosh, I gotta hurry up, I have a Zoom call at 10. But see, if I've already been organized, which this is how I choreograph, is that I'm up, I'm ready, the breakfast is ready, I've already hired out one of my children, like, listen, I'll pay you a good solid $10 if you stay here for 30 minutes while I've got this Zoom call. I'm already, like, there you go, Brock, everything's ready, I'm gonna go up for now to do this Zoom call, I will be back, and that $10 is yours. I want no crying from children, I want you involved, and I want you off your phone. Okay, so it's like all of that, but I'm prepped, and I'm ready, and I'm ahead of the game. I know what I'm doing, and I can be fully focused to the person I'm talking to for business. I can be fully focused on what I'm doing when I'm working with, the women in my community. And when it's with my children and my grandchildren, if I'm reading a story or going over some things with them or playing ball, then I am fully there because I have nothing else I'm doing during that pocket of time because I've scripted it out. And it just then keeps on flowing of even switching the laundry I've got written down. Like I'm going to now, it's round 2. Let's do that laundry switch, fold. So I know like some children are gonna, like babies will come up and start to bug me so I think that one through and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wait till evening to really get her all done and do that. So I'm always just thinking of different things like, oh, swap it out and then come back down. So I don't do things that I know are going to be spoiled. Like, kids enough, your own children enough, like what's going to work, what's not. and how can you make it work, and how is it not going to work? It's just a matter of really being a visionary for your life to set yourself up. I do this like a volleyball player. It's just, right? That one chick is like everything. It's not the one that slams it down and spikes it. It's the one that's like, she's setting it up for you. Set yourself up to win the game. Okay? Scripting does that because it gives you a looking glass into your life and makes you look at all aspects, so you got it covered. Okay? You're looking at everything like, why am I even doing this in the first place? Or, I really want to start working out. How am I going to, and a couple times during the week, how am I going to make sure that everyone's okay, that they're fed, and I want to work out this time, and maybe I better tweak this, maybe it better be a quick meal. What kind of meal would that be? How can I ensure everyone is happy while I'm gone? It's all of these kind of things that must be thought out. You can't just, that's why a lot of times women's lives can either be just complete train wrecks, which I've been there. That's how I know not to have a train wreck or be one, because I've experienced what it's like to feel like a train wreck. It's like, oh no, this ain't working, and it's like back to scratch. It's like, I've got to now re-script. I've got to know and redo this. And life is, just when I begin a routine, like it's over with and done. And like it's already changed. And some older kid throws a wrench in it and says, needs me for something that just ruins all my plans. And so when those kind of things happens, then I adapt, and I will re-script and reformulate and redo and incorporate, and it's no sweat. As long as I know what I'm going to do and I'm going to agree to helping and doing what I need to do, then I just reformulate. But scripting is the way that just will give you that flow you need. If you stop just at a to-do list, you're capping yourself, and your potential is like capped. You've hit, you know what I mean? You won't know your potential until you script. I'm gonna just say it. I'm gonna say it. You're not gonna know your potential until you script, because you won't even know what it's like to be in a creative flow state. Because when you write, who's my girls? Listen, comment down below. The ones that really script their planning days out, has it not been a flow state where your life has just turned itself in a way that it's like so fulfilling, where everything you do is so full of intention because you have scripted it out and made everything that you do meaningful. So intention is like meaningful. You intend to do it, and there's meaning attached, and you want to do it, and you're going to do it, and it's meaningful, and because you've put so much thought toward it. So how could it not? When you think of things as your life, as compartmentalizing it into tasks, it's hard to create an emotion toward that or an attachment toward that, especially if you're frazzled over here for all the part of the life that you didn't account for. And then I've got to do this. And then it stresses you out. So the to-do list basically just stresses you out because you've intended some things without accounting for the rest of your life. The life that happens around the to-do list. That's why when you plan with the Planner Perfect method and you script your life, the way my planners are set up, it is set so that you are accounting for your whole life. Your life. How do you want to live? How do you want to feel? How do you want things to be? Do you want to have dinner at the dinner table? Do you want to make sure you're all together? How's that going to look? What kind of dinner can you prepare? And then you just start getting ideas. You see what I'm saying? They stack. It's an idea stack. And your second pillar, the most other important one of the day is, and I'll get more into detail with this in subsequent videos, the evening pillar is like your rock star pillar. Because honestly, if you do really good and crash at 5 after dinner, then you've lost the game. You're out. You know what I mean? And why quit then? And a lot of us women, we get really, really tired. We're spent. And actually, even the verbalizing of reminding children to help or sweep the floor and wow, you did a really bad job. And it takes energy, right? So you're doing really good in the beginning of the day because that's when you got full of your, you're full of the energy at that time and you've got all your willpower going on. And then, but usually by 5, we're quite depleted. But one hack you can do is make sure that you get about 30 minutes of exercise right after dinner. Whether you walk on a treadmill or you go for a walk in your neighborhood and walk the dog, that's going to help give you the second wind you're going to need for just starting the evening. That's what I'm saying. Because all of the good stuff really happens from like 5 to 9, honestly. Those are your golden hours. So I look at those as really my golden hours because I prep myself up again, setting myself up. That's another setup for the morning. Okay, so that is my setup time, basically, is the evening. So I'm set myself up and then my success happens during the day. Then I set myself up at night and you know what I mean? And so in the evening after dinner, which is I plan out all my meals and my dinners and then we clean up and then we have a new puppy. So we've got those responsibilities, which is really good for my sons. And then mama has some things that she has to do. So they can go out and play. They can go play outside with Molly. They can do all this kind of stuff. My husband usually doing surroundings with the boys, which is so perfect because then I go and I finish my laundry. I put on my headset. I listen to podcasts and I fold every nook and cranny of the laundry and I put it all away. There's never a speck that's out. I'm like, where's that sock? I want everything clean. The washers and dryers open so they don't smell or anything. I'm just like, everything's spotless. My bed's turned down. The kitchen's spotless. The family room is cleaned up. I make sure nothing about me is perfect. I do want to say that. But these are my intentions. And for majority of the time, 90% of the time, it flows that way because I take the time to write it out and know what I want. So because I know what I want, I write it out and it happens because I know what I want. And when I know what I want and I've envisioned it out, then I make sure it happens because I know what I want. If I didn't know what I wanted and I just knew what I didn't want all the time and just lived life knowing what I hated, I'd be some bitter woman who was always pissed, yelling at people, thinking they were just worthless to me, and my life would live cyclically like this because I run a very large household and run a business, and if I didn't have my game on, I'd be horrible to live with. So because I know what I want versus what I hate, though that tells me what I want, I capitalize on that. So because I know what I don't want, I focus on what I do and I write all that out in like full detail. Like I want to walk past my laundry room when I wake up in the morning that's right by my bed, and I don't want to see not even a little bit of laundry because that stresses me out. Like, oh no, I didn't do it last night, so now I've got to do that. I'm already in the rears, so I don't want to wake up in the rears. I want to wake up I want to be the head, not the tail. Okay. As in scripture. So I just want to be ahead of it. And so I want to walk by there and be like, nice. And then I want to go downstairs and I want to walk down the stairs and I want to see, clean, sparkling. I want my coffee press waiting for me, my coffee beans ready to be ground. I want to see my Bible sitting in my favorite cozy spot. I want to have all of those things cleaned and ready for me. I greet the cat. I know she's hungry. I feed her. I go and tend to the dog, bring the back in. I know what I need to do. And now I'm going to go and do the other things I need to do. And I know all of what I'm going to do today. And it's going to be a very good day because I've scripted it. I've scripted a life that I want to live. I've scripted a life that I want to live, and I'm living it. I've scripted a life that I want to live, and I'm living it. Now, here's something that I really want to just add to this, and then we're going to go ahead and just close. Is that this is the thing that I am adding to really the scripting method. Make sure that your health is on point. Because a lot of times women are suffering from depression. They could be suffering from, relationship issues. They could be having just big time nutrient deficiencies, and such an eye opener it has been for me to be able to get some really serious blood drawn done, not just regular labs, but on an intracellular level, I got them done as well, where I had the doctor tell me, I'm surprised that you can even function past noon. I mean, you're firing on 2 to 3 cylinders. And it's those kind of things like, well, that explains some things, I mean, if I could fire on all of it, if I could really make sure that I'm feeding my body so I can live optimally and to have longevity and to make sure my body's running optimally so that it can heal always properly, and also my immune system can be up. I mean, that's what you want. You want the energy. You need everything to work right in order for you to be also, even to pick up a pen, you need to be well. And so I do encourage you that if you do suffer from stuff like that, that it isn't something like, oh, I just need to motivate myself and just think that the scripting is going to be the win of the day. There's that element as well. It's you want to take care of your body, you want to take care of your mind, and you want to take care of your spirit. You want to make sure you're doing your spiritual life. You want to make sure you're feeding your body well, and then you're doing the work, the physical work. You're exercising, and you're scripting, and you're a visionary. So they all flow together. Designate time for that, because when you've got all three going, now you're firing on all cylinders. You are a force to be reckoned with, and God can use you more fully when you are fully alive. Take care of your bodies, and to take care of your mind, and to take care of your spiritual life. So you got to do all of that. And then when you're taking those action steps, it'll be a lot easier. It'll be so much more fun. It'll be more invigorating when you're feeling well, when you're feeling optimal, and you're feeding your body well with intention. That's what I got for you today. It's a scripting method. I feel on steroids, okay? I hope that you've been inspired to begin the scripting method and planning a life that you love. Until next time we're together.